I think that a woman is not defined by the clothes that she wears or the makeup that she wears, or if she is living lavish or not. I think a woman is defined by how we're all defined: her heart, her spirit, and ultimately she'll be defined differently based on her relationships with other people and the marks that she leaves in the world. So happy Women's History Month, and I will see you in the next video. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel for anyone who's returning, and welcome to anyone who is new. My name is Michelle, and today's video is just gonna be about what defines a woman. So I'm just gonna talk about what it means to be a woman, like the actual definition, my thoughts and opinions on it, and how I interpret this question. Okay, so I'm just gonna start off with the definition of a woman, and I'm looking at it from Oxford Languages. So I'll just read a couple. The first one says, an adult female human being. A female member of a workforce, team, etc. A female person associated with a particular place, activity, or occupation. When looking at these definitions, the closest thing that I think someone looking at this would define a woman with would be female, just because it. So looking at the definition of woman, seeing the word female is very triggering, because I feel like that is the only word that is written here that can closely tie into the definition of a woman, only because when you think about woman and how we are defined, then you talk about sex. So I just kind of want to quickly share the meaning of female, because I don't feel like I'm making a point as clear as I want to. And so if you think about the adjective definition of it, it means of or denoting the sex that can bear offspring or produce eggs, distinguished biologically by the production of ova, which can be fertilized by male gametes. I know I'm not saying that right, but also a female animal or plant. This will be the first video in my playlist that will be about Women's History Month, and I'm not really sure how I will tie it to my channel, but I did want to at least have this video this week that talks about what defines a woman. So I'm gonna link the article where I got the question from below, and some of the sub questions that are included are. I'm going to link this article below, as well as any other ones that I use, but this first one where I actually got this question from when I was doing some research, I'm gonna link, and they do include sub questions, so I'm just gonna read them out real quickly, like just a couple. And the first one is, who gets to decide who is or is not a woman? That's an important question, because literally gender itself is just. The next question that I see is, how do varying cultures define womanhood differently? And I think that that is an excellent question, only because in other cultures they build the woman up around her womanhood. So I know for Black women, we don't have like any traditions as far as Asian. It's really just as soon as you are seen as mature enough. I know for most of my young Black girls, you probably were asked to cook, you know, for Sunday dinner, or asked to do something that's related to housework, or, you know, if you, the only thing that I could think of that would be how people define womanhood differently would be in the Black community. For women, puberty is a thing, because it's just like, one, a lot of young Black women already are mature, already are tending to the home or helping to tend to the home. And so when you throw in puberty, it sucks, because all of a sudden you're seen as grown. Like, I shared in another video, I literally hit puberty in the 5th grade. What grown woman things am I doing in the 5th grade? So I did kind of write out a script, so I'm trying to stay on point, because I know I kind of go off on my mini tangents. But I kind of wanted to get back to the definition real quick before I moved on to the context part of the video. And so I just want anyone who is watching to kind of stop, close your eyes, and think about what defines a woman, right? So when you close your eyes, you think about what defines a woman. When you think of a woman, what do you envision? Do you envision hair? Do you envision childbirth? Do you envision marriage? Do you envision sex? What are the things that come to mind when you hear the question, what defines a woman, or what makes you think of a woman? I know when I think of a woman, I think about strength immediately as a Black woman. And I think about pain. I think about pain when it comes to all women, just for the simple fact that, like, childbirth exists. So I just want to stop really quickly and make it clear to whoever is watching this that there is no one definitive way to define a woman. Gender, I'm just saying it again, is a social construct. Also, I just want to discuss my thoughts and feelings around Women's History Month as it relates to womanhood. So I'm just going to share like literally 1 or 2 facts about Women's History Month, like the history of it, and then move on to my thoughts and opinions. So for anyone who is watching, I just want to remind you that yes, March is Women's History Month, and this is a national recognition of the vital roles that women have played and still play throughout history, or just making history, period. When you think about, I don't know, how many things do you think were created by a woman, but she couldn't get the credit for it? So this recognition began in one town in 1978 when the Education Task Force of the Sonoma County Commission on the Status of Women celebrated Women's History Week in Santa Rosa, California. And I could go on and on about the contributions that women have made and continue to make, but I'll just name some examples instead. So when we talk about examples, and I will leave an article here that goes kind of more in detail with the examples, I just kind of wanted to name names and ideas that were actually from women, but you probably thought were from men. I really wanted to find things from Black women specifically, but I don't know. I'm just gonna name the few that I saw that were really interesting. The first one being Ada Lovelace, who kicked off computer programming. That's number 1. Lise Meitner, who kicked off nuclear fission. And just by kicked off, I mean discovered something new with it, something that was never done before. And the last one is Nettie Stevens, who discovered sex chromosomes. So I'm going to link the article below because I don't want to go on and on. So what defines a woman to me? To me, I truly don't care about gender unless you are a cisgender hetero man. Then I'm probably judging you. I think that people are more than the surface level things that they present. So people are more than the outfit that they have on, their makeup, their hair, like literally. So you may hear someone cutting the grass, They decided that they wanted to cut the grass all of a sudden, even though they did not cut the grass last year. But I guess they're feeling inspired. So I'm sorry if you hear that. I will try to reduce the noise, but I'm pretty annoyed. I cannot even think straight. I'm gonna try to hurry up and wrap up my video, even though I kind of just wanted to get into it. But what defines a woman to me is who she is at the center of her being. When people think of women, they only think of superficial things. No one actually thinks about who you are as a person, what you enjoy. I feel like a lot of times when people define women, it's always in that definition of defining women, people always put in like how a woman takes care of them or what a woman does for them instead of who she actually is. And with a lot of women, I feel like we will get caught up in these relationship dynamics, whether it be romantic, friendship, family, whatever, where people feel like we're only certain things. So like, for example, if I'm a black woman, right, and I'm going to go date this black man, and when we met, I had my 32-inch bust down lace front, Slade, and I was dressed up nicely and very feminine, like probably hyper feminine if I'm out somewhere or whatever. But the next time we meet, I don't have on my wig. I got my locks out. I don't have on as much makeup because men cannot tell the difference most of the time between your regular makeup and then if you do like natural glam. And I'm just in a regular fit. I don't know about anyone else, but like I mentioned in another video, I think it was my video when I talked about desirability in women and aging and things like that, that ties into how women are defined, almost like how our purpose here is defined. I realized no matter where I went, I cannot escape the sound of that, but I have so much to do for my regular job that I'm just gonna stop here and I will just continue it in my next video. But I think that a woman is not defined by the clothes that she wears or the makeup that she wears, or if she is living lavish or not. I think a woman is defined by how we're all defined: her heart, her spirit, and ultimately she'll be defined differently based on her relationships with other people and the marks that she leaves in the world. So happy Women's History Month, and I will see you in the next video.